Alrighty, another concept, another week, and an exciting week ahead in relation to reading timetables and planning trips. In this video, we are learning to plan a trip to Perth City, and we're going to do that via using the Trans-Perth timetables, specifically a bus timetable and also a train timetable. And that hopefully will get us into Perth City. We're going to start with the bus timetable, and Trans-Perth have bus timetables that look like this every single time. So let me zoom in on it. Okay, usually what they'll have is a Monday to Friday, a Saturday and a Sunday. Why do you think they have different timetables for those three categories? Well, if you had a bit of an answer there, it was because on Monday to Friday, this is usually a working week, and it's more suitable to keep the timetables the same Monday to Friday, so it's the same for the working week. And then Saturday and Sunday are breaks in the usual working week. They're a bit of a holiday day, so therefore the timetables may be a little bit limited or varied based on what they think is most important. So the Perth bus timetable always come with a map. The reason I've put this on its side is because I always want the N to be pointing north. And I know that this map here, the beach is here, and then we've got our Stirling station just here. So north is absolutely going this way. All right. I'm having a look at it, and I can see this timetable, and I've chosen it because it's got a little bit of woodlands on here. Goes all the way from Scarborough Beach through Brighton Road and across there to Ewan Street. Some of you know Ewan Street pretty well. Scarborough Beach Road and up to Stirling Station. It also has the 412 bus timetable that goes just around Cobb Street, Coronation Street, Huntress Road, and actually goes past the Woodlands Lake, Jackadder Lake, and then to Hersman, and then up to Stirling Street as well. Woodlands Primary School, just a little bit down this area here. You can see Teakwood Oval just there as well. So when it comes to these bus timetables, you're always looking at the bus stops that might be along the way. Specifically, we're going to use this target here. And the reason they've got targets on some of these bus timetables is because those targets relate to the same targets in the timetable. We're going to have a look at Saturday here and make sure we know exactly what we're looking at. Okay, so you can see again the targets. Target, 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 and target. So we know that this target, for example, Woodlands Village Shopping Centre, relates to this target here. So they are the same target, and these times are where you will see the 412 bus. These work in a bit of a table or a grid, and all you need to do when you're reading a timetable is work along the line to see what times there are available. So, for example, I'm recording this at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, let's say, and you can see that if I was going to catch a bus to Stirling Station, the best option for me would be the 8:16, because as it progresses, it gets to the Woodland shops at 8:24. So it'll get to here at 8:24, and then it will arrive at Stirling Station at 8:34. The reason it's got some blanks here is because these blanks are not on the route for 412. They're actually on the 410 route. So there'll be a different route, so therefore a different time. You can see here that the Millcrest Street target relates to this Millcrest Street here. So if you're around the Millcrest area and Ewan Street as well, you'd be looking at that timetable to see where the buses will go. Now, there are definitely other bus stops along this route, but they've chosen these because they're the most prominent, or maybe they're the most sort of the halfway point of the route before they head to Stirling Station. But certainly the bus would stop all the way along here, and you'd be able to see the bus stopping all the way along their routes, all the way up. Okay, so usually when you're reading timetables, you'll be asked a question like, get to Stirling Station at midday. Okay, so with that question in mind, get to Stirling Station at midday, you're thinking about the midday number, which is, of course, 12 or 12 p.m. Now, they don't have 24-hour clocks here, on this timetable. It just goes all the way down, and you'll have to assume that it is an AM or a PM. Or, no way, they've got them over here. Look, AM and then PM there. So we're looking at the PM, and we're looking at midday. So we have to get to Stirling Station at midday. All right? Pause the video. See if you can work out for a Saturday how you get to Stirling Station at midday. Which buses would you be able to catch, and which buses would be the best bus for you? Alrighty, so if we're on the 412 line and we're getting to Stirling Station, we'd be at Woodlands just here. That's where I'd assume would be. So let's have a look which one we get to. I'm having a look at Stirling Station and seeing what the timings are, because all of these times are when it arrives at Stirling Station. So all of these times relate to the arrival at Stirling, and we're trying to get there at midday. So I'm looking through, I've got my AMs there. 12:04 would get us there just a little bit late, and that's the 4:10. So I have to arrive before midday. So our best option is the arrival at 11:34, and that's going to be the 412 bus. 412 bus. So if I was catching a bus to Stirling Station, I'd look at the 412, I'd walk all the way down to Woodlands Village, and I'd get the 11:18 from Woodlands Village, and it gets me there at 11:34, which, to be honest, is a little bit early for midday, but it's a Saturday, so it means we've got limited timetables, and often Perth puts on limited bus services on a Saturday and a Sunday. Now we're at Stirling Station, another thing we could use is the train timetable. Now these trains are 6 big routes across Perth, and using these timetables will get you from Perth City all the way out to places like Butler or Fremantle or Mandurah, or even out towards Midland, towards the east. So this timetable I've got in front of us is Joondalup line, and it goes all the way out to Butler, and you can see that it starts in Elizabeth Quay. The Perth Underground station, the one that's Perth City, is just there, and it goes out to our favourite station, Stirling, just here. All right. Similarly, like the bus timetable, it'll have a Saturday timetable. All right. So Saturday timetable is up here, and this is what we're looking at when we're thinking about a train into Perth City. I know it's going to Perth City because it says to Perth on the top. Always check that. And in the questions next door, I've got the to Joondalup or to Butler timetable and to Perth. So don't get confused. All right. Because it's going to Perth, it starts in Butler. And that's why the timetable starts in Butler on this timetable. So we're going Butler to Clarkson, Currambine, Joondalup, all the way through to our station Stirling, and then Perth Underground and Elizabeth Quay. Okay. So now we are at Stirling Station, and we got there just before midday. Okay. It is important to note here that there aren't any times here. It says AM, then it says then at the following minutes past each hour. Now this relates to every hour on a Saturday. So at midday, for example, the trains at Stirling will be expected to come at 39 past the hour, 54 past the hour, 09 past the hour, and 24 past the hour. Okay, so at 9 a.m., you've got those 4 trains coming through. At 10 a.m., you've got those 4 trains coming through. But not 10 a.m. specifically, 10:39, 10:54, 10:09, 10:24. They're coming through there. The reason they've done that is because they don't want to list every single train that comes through, because, of course, every single train will take up so many lines. You can just assume that at every hour, there's going to be 4 trains coming through at these times here. So we've arrived at Stirling Station, and we arrived at 11:34. Now, 11:34 is the time we are at Stirling Station. What I'd like you to do is have a think about how you can get to Perth Underground on a train. What would be the best train to catch? Have a think. All right. So the best train to catch, because we're arriving at Stirling Station at 11:34, would be the 11:39, which goes all the way to Perth Underground and gets there at 11:48. Okay. Of course, This one here would be 09, so that's too early. And this one here, 11:54, which to be honest, we've been waiting at the station for 20 minutes. So I'd rather get the earlier one if we can make it. All right. Another question for you. I'd like to arrive at Perth Station at 8 p.m. So it's going to be a late night, Saturday night, whoop, whoop, party, party. So I'm arriving at 8 p.m. at Perth Station, and I'd like you to tell me which time would be the best train to get from Stirling Station. Have a think. All right, so because we're arriving at Perth Station, we're going to work backwards. We're going to arrive at Perth. We have a look at the times that arrive. Okay, so it says here 8:48, and that's the PM. So this is where the timetable changes a little bit, so it's telling you all the trains. But before that, we're still into those 4 trains at each hour. All right, 8:48 is too late because we're trying to get there at 8 p.m. Let's have a look at which train it would be. 8:33, 8:18, 8:03, 8:48. They're all after 8 p.m. So we're going to go backwards into the 7 p.m. hour. 7:33, 7:18, 7:03 is well early, so it'll be 57 minutes early, or 7:48. So we're arriving at 7:48, which means the best train to get would be this train here. And it goes to Stirling Station at 7:39. The reason it's 7:39 is it's every hour. These are the same times. So the best train would be 7:39. All right. I'm going to put a couple of questions up. Really important for you to use the timetable and see which train or which time would be the best for your bus timetables and your train timetables. See how you go with reading these timetables, and good luck.